Ooh, what a performance by the Atlanta Falcons in Santa Clara, California. That's why I had my mask on. But that's not what this video is all about because I don't take credit away from the winning opposing squad. What's up, everybody? Jamerus58 Gilliam here, coming at you with a humble pie video. The purpose of me making these videos is to give credit where credit is due to the opposing team who claimed victory over my Atlanta Falcons. For example, whenever my Atlanta Falcons take victory over an opponent that's favored to beat them, it's always something wrong with the opponent that the Falcons have beaten instead of giving credit where credit is due to the Atlanta Falcons squad who pulls off a victory. Now that the Falcons are 3-3, thanks to the San Francisco 49ers, credit must be given where credit is due. You got to get your due diligence. You got to get your flowers. So to the coaches, the players, and the fans of the San Francisco 49ers, congratulations. So, I am a big fan of the defensive side of the ball, so first things first, to Fred Warner, I'm praying for not a speedy recovery, but a successful recovery. Season-ending injuries does not require speedy recoveries, because if you heal quickly, you heal incorrectly. So, believe me, I broke my finger when I was a left tackle playing arena ball. Didn't realize I did it. I didn't go get it properly checked. My finger didn't properly heal because I didn't splint it or anything. But it still works. I can still snap my fingers. But it wasn't a season-ending injury. That's why I'm praying for a successful recovery. So, with Alfred Warner, the 49ers defense came up with 2 sacks, nearly intercepted Michael Penix Jr., and they forced 2 turnover on downs in that game. They prevented the Falcons from crossing that end zone on the first and fourth quarter. And film study, they show that they did great film study, so that's on the coaching part. And against Bijan Robinson, he only had 40 yards rushing for 14 attempts, averaging 2.9 yards. Now, that's defense, if anything. There was a couple of plays. So, shout out to the entire 49ers defense. The leading tackler of that game was Jair Brown, the safety. Racked up 5 solo tackles. Yep. Offensively, George Kittle had a little production, but I thought I mentioned him since we're drawing closer to National Tight Ends Day. He was very effective in the run game for Christian McCaffrey to run all over us later on in the game. And he had a few key blocks, so that was just effective production on the offensive side of the ball for the 49ers. You got to pay attention to the little details. The linemen don't get that much love. As a former lineman myself, I can understand. But, recognition, hardly ever get it unless film study is brought out. So it's usually the guy that's touching the ball that's getting some love. Coaching-wise, like I said earlier, film study was paramount to them to keep Bijan Robinson from getting production. We hardly ever seen any Tyler Algier action. He only had 4 carries. So 4 carries, and we was playing desperate ball. It was a couple of deep shots where balls were dropped, balls were overthrown, and like that's what happens when you force a team behind. You get them to play desperate ball, mistakes are made, things are not executed. That's good defense. That's the 49ers. So that's pretty much what I got to say about that. We will be hosting the Miami Dolphins. I'll see you in the logistics video. 58 out.